Welcome to the weekly broadcast of the Living Life on Purpose show. Each week we will feature individuals who are making an impact in their area of expertise and hot topics that affect our community. Now for your hostess, Sandy D. Johnson.
Hello, everyone. Good day. My name is Sandy G. Johnson, and I will be your hostess for today. And my guest was unable to come, so we're gonna but I have a hot guest for next week, but I'll let you know about that in a minute. So right now, we're just gonna talk about some current events. I have two hot topics, kind of three, maybe two. Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court, as everyone knows, has overturned that. It seems like there's an attack on women's rights. Everything from Kotex shortage to formula shortages. It seems like what women need are not being kept or considered. I personally don't believe in abortion. If someone asks my opinion, I would tell them my testimony of being a single parent and how God was able to provide. But I can't make that decision for another woman. It's not even taking into consideration rape or incest. I've heard people say, lawmakers say, well, it's not the baby's fault. So we're bringing this baby into trauma with with a mom that's totally unprepared and that's pregnant, not of her own doing. That's like being doubled victimized, and to have to look at the result of your trauma every day. I'm not saying abortion is the answer to it, but that people should have a choice. A brief video I'm going to show about some things we as Black women, we deal with racism and sexism. I have a little brief video that's going to talk a little bit about that.
Or possibly the sexy blend that is misogynoir.
Obscures the burdens of misogynoir. Don't confuse
patriarchy or female objectification or whatever, sexism, misogynoir. It's an act of.
That word came to be in 2010, where Black women, we have it double. We face racism and we face sexism. But we do have a weapon, each other. I want to read from this self-care book. It's an excellent self-care book about how to deal with this. And this book tells us to validate yourself after experiencing it. It's one of the worst experiences a Black woman can encounter. Whenever you're mistreated, it can send you into a mental spiral of thoughts. Did I get treated that way because I'm a woman? Were they rude or were they racist? You begin to question your self-worth and actions, wondering what you did to deserve someone being racist and sexist to you. The truth is you did nothing to deserve this. But what you have to do from that point is validate yourself. Write some statements out. Sit in it for a minute. I will allow myself to feel this way. What happened to me happened. Don't deny it. I do not need to prove it to make it true. My perspective is all that mattered. Have you ever had somebody to try to tell you your perspective? I had this lady once who was a Trump supporter tried to tell me you don't face racism. And then she used an example of, well, my friend that's from Africa, that's not their experience. I'm like, you're from Germany. I don't compare your experience to someone from Ireland. Just because you're the same complexion don't mean you're the same people. That was so racist. And so she didn't even see what she was doing was wrong. Just because we have the skin color don't mean we share the same culture or the same experiences. So you have to tell yourself, my perspective is all that matters. And you have to have people around that respect your perspective. Nothing is wrong with how I perceive things. Now, write down in a journal and revisit it or share with a friend and process it. Give yourself the gift of validation that it's okay to feel that way. So, as we're dealing with Roe versus Wade, there's protests, there's uprise. We just have to continue to fight for our rights because we are on our way to being a handmaiden tale. And let me tell you, I can't be a handmaiden. I'm past that age and I don't cook, so I can't be a Martha. I don't know how to make biscuits. So I'll be one of those people, they'll send the women that don't want to cooperate off to the mines or wherever that land. That's where I'll be if I don't escape to Canada and get that silver blanket thing threw over me. Y'all, we got to fight for our rights. The other thing I want to discuss is, I'm sorry, I have a little cold, is Texas. I live in this great, hi Monica, how are you? I live in this great state of Texas. In Texas, have just decided to try to, in our history books, rename in the curriculum slavery for second graders from slavery to involuntary relocation. When you change history, you're trying to prevent you involuntary relocation. You rewrite history so it can be repeated. We learn from history as a way to say, you know what, this happened to us once. We're not going to allow it to happen again. But if you wipe that history out, then we're bound to have it happen again. They're trying to wipe out our history as a people, as a Black people. And we have to fight against the oppression that we're seeing. My ancestors was not involuntarily relocated in the bottom of slave ships. My people was not involuntarily relocated to be whipped and chained and made to pick cotton and other crops. My ancestors was not involuntarily relocated and still fighting against the racism that happens in this country. So parents, you need to call your people and say, we're not going for that. It was not involuntary relocation. It was slavery. And slavery was not a new thing, but the way slavery was done in this country was a new thing. They tried to strip us of everything that was inherently ours. And as we rebuild and become more powerful, the Vice President of the United States is a Black woman. Now they're trying to turn back the hands of time and put us back in our place. But we will not be involuntarily relocated again. So that's all I have for today. You guys continue to live life on purpose. We're about 89, 88 days out from the retreat. I'm going to throw it in the stream. Guys, go and get registered for the retreat. It's going to be here. It's going to be in person. It's going to be fabulous. You will leave changed. So you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Continue to live life on purpose. Goodbye.